Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hello, welcome back to the Wildstar Drop podcast. This is episode 4. It has been an absolute huge week in the world of Wildstar. I have another guest this week, Mr. Icy Volk. I'll let him introduce himself in just a minute. I would like to remind you guys to always, please, if you can, rate us 5 stars on iTunes. I will give you a shout out on the next episode. I got a couple this week by Mr. Umai UP100. He said, nice job on the cast, and then he said he was on Thunderfoot server as well, and he gave me his name in-game, which is Kamal, so go check him out if you're on the Thunderfoot server. And then Mr. Mike Brown on the 25th of June said, so far this is my favorite Wildstar podcast. Host has a pleasant voice and gets right to business. He said he was scared it wasn't coming back, but it did, and he was thrilled. So thanks, guys, for that. Go ahead and leave me a 5-star review on iTunes because it does help me out, and I really do appreciate it. So what are we going to talk about this week? We're going to talk about, obviously, the strain patch has dropped. So we have been in it with about a couple days, maybe a little over 48 hours now. I have been in both the Northern Wastes and Blighthaven, so I can tell you a little bit about my experience there. We're going to talk about the continued battle against the bots. We're going to talk about some other stuff that's been brought up this week. There's some changes in rewards for vet dungeons and adventures I'd like to discuss a little bit. But first and foremost, I would like to introduce my guest, Mr. Icy Volk. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for inviting me. I feel very welcomed again. The Wildstar community is always amazing. It's nice to have someone like you around. So it's nice to meet you.
Absolutely. It's fantastic to meet you, and it's going to be an absolute blast to talk to you today about the game that we both like so much. Before we get started, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Well, I go by the name of Icy Shards on YouTube because I'm actually a YouTube content creator. 2 years ago, I started off as a crappy Let's Player, and then I went to do some video game news coverage, and now I'm just covering Wildstar every day, almost every day of the week. And so if you want to find my work, you can find it at youtube.com/Icy Shards, or if you don't really like being around on YouTube, you can always take a look at my Facebook page, which is my optional YouTube video feed list. And then I have my Twitter, of course, which is twitter.com/Icy Shards, but the name should be Icy Volk. I kind of use another name now. I don't really like Icy Shards as much, but now it's Icy Volk. And finally, I have a Twitch channel on which I stream every now and then. I started streaming since I got my new and amazing internet. So if you want to ever watch me play Wildstar or any other game such as League of Legends, then you can head over to twitch.tv/Icy Shards. And that's those are all of the pages I own. Oh, and I also have a Tumblr page on which I reblog a lot of incredible Wildstar fan arts and housing creations. You can check out that website. It's thenexushub.tumblr.com. I put on a lot of fan art there that's Wildstar based. And yeah, if you're a big fan of art in general, really recommend you check out the Tumblr website I have created.
Well, fantastic. Again, like I told you before we hit live here, I really do appreciate you coming on and chatting with me about the game. I'm really excited about having you and seeing what you have been doing in game. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and segue to that part of the show. Obviously, I will let the guest go first. So, Icy, what have you been doing in game this week?
Well, I'm a huge PvE gamer. MMO veteran. I don't really PvP, although I would like to start PvPing more. I know I'm not the type of person to be impulsive and to fight real enemies. I like to be comfortable in my whenever I game. I don't like taking risks, but I would like to. And I mean, since I've played League of Legends for quite a long time, I feel like I can finally step into the PvP environment of MMOs, and I feel like I can actually fight enemies now. Like I have the skills and the mentality to face other real players, because I've always been so comfortable whenever I gamed. I didn't really play player versus player games, but now I might actually start doing a lot of battlegrounds, and I really want to check out war plots, because that looks like a very interesting feature of the game, and it's actually something that I've tried in beta, and I really enjoyed that. I even made a video about it, but I feel like war plots is going to be the main PvP. Well, I can't really say that. I think arenas are pretty popular right now, and the arenas might start being organized for like competitions for like future esports events for Wildstar. I'd really like to see some esport events going on for Wildstar, because I feel like it would be kind of successful, and I don't know, it might be a thing. And I just want to start PvPing sometime. I'm really digging the PvE as well, and right now I'm just doing the dailies. I'm already level 50, trying to gear up for veteran dungeons. I've been doing veteran adventures every now and then, and I got 2 purple so far.
Nice.
But I haven't been really lucky with loot. But it all takes time and practice, and I'm really enjoying the combat right now, because I'm a healer. I'm a spellslinger healer, and I'm noticing how the healing playstyle is a lot different from your typical MMOs. You don't look at the U frames as much as you do in MMOs like WoW, where you have to like manage your rotation, and you have to constantly look at other people's health.
Right.
And I mean, it's pretty easy to remember where you have to stand and the strategy of the boss fight itself. With Wildstar, you don't really expect things to happen in the same way. Some telegraphs might come up spontaneously, and you have new fights to learn, and there's a lot more mobility going on in general, so you don't have time to look at the UI frames. So maybe like you want to download like a new add-on that actually shows nameplates above players as they're walking around the boss, and that'll help you manage your party and do the proper healing and whatnot. But I've been really enjoying the play style of the healing. It's something I haven't seen before, and I find myself looking at the actual environment and what's going on during the boss fight rather than people's health dropping, you know.
Right. That's fantastic. So you say you are a spellslinger, but you're a healer, right?
Yeah, but I really enjoy DPSing. I actually like in WoW. I've been a mage for so many years, and I find a lot of similarities with the spellslinger and the mage. Although the spellslinger is a lot more mobile, and it can cast most of the spellslinger's abilities can be cast on the move. Can be used on the move, and that's what I really liked about the Spellslinger. And I've played the class in beta till 50. I rolled a Chua Slinger and really enjoy the class. And I knew from the moment I rolled a Spellslinger that I was going to play one on launch. I tried to force myself to main another class, but I couldn't do it. I'm just in love with the Spellslinger. It's my class.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way. I actually am a Spellslinger as my main as well, DPS. And I guess I'll kind of transfer a little bit into what I've been doing this week. I have been 50 now for a while. I have been doing the dailies in the Crimson Badlands before the strain drop came out a couple days ago, or a day and a half ago, whatever it has been now. I don't know. It's been kind of crazy. And got I believe I have like 197 Elder Gems right now. So I'm trying to decide. I know that eventually long term, I know I want to raid or would like to get into the raiding content. Currently right now, as I said last week on the show, due to real life responsibilities, it would be really hard for me, to have the time to commit, to make sure I'm there, exact times to raid. But I do want to do that. So I think probably, I'll probably get the key and start working on that. But I do want to start improving my character, and I have a hard time resisting the urge to buy like the new hoverboard stuff and the aesthetic stuff, because I really do enjoy that side of the game. Those are pretty neat. Yeah,
I actually already have the key, the Genesis key you're talking about.
Yes.
I got it about 2 days ago, and it kind of took a long time, but with the new locations that Carbine has released, it should be slightly easier to gain Elder Gems. And I don't know if you know this, but if you haven't done any like level 49 or 50 quests, if you've left out some quests in Grimvault, let's say, you could still complete them, and you'll get Elder Gems for them, which is pretty cool. I noticed it when I was trying to clear out some of the quests I still had left on my quest log, and I don't know. That's
fantastic advice. Definitely, what he's saying is definitely if you have some quests left over, and you've done your dailies for the day, you can go back and knock those out and acquire Elder Gems for those. And just so I can let you guys know, just being in the Elder game for a couple weeks now, it does require 75,000 XP points in order to accumulate one Elder Gem, or it requires you to complete a quest. So some quests, they give you one Elder Gem, and then others give you maybe two if it's, one of the +2 group quest or whatever it may be. And kind of what Icy Volk was saying there, being that the strain patch has dropped already, I'm going to kind of give my opinions on it here because I'm going to talk about what I've been doing. And I went to the Northern Waste when I logged in for the first time after the strain dropped. And I'm not going to lie to you, it was a little smaller than I had first thought it might be. And it was a little easier to finish. Like, it was a lot quicker than I thought. Like, I went through the whole zone story. I went through and knocked out all the quests. And you're right, there's a lot of dailies there. I knocked them out this morning, actually, for the second time. And you can accumulate a lot more Elder Gems. The aesthetic of the Northern Waste, I really do like. I like the White Veil look anyways. So I really do like the way that it looked. And then I went into Blighthaven, and that is where I believe that this drop, this patch really shines.
Yeah.
I knocked out a ton of the dailies there, and just the globellum and being able to swim inside these like just purple goo things are it's amazing. And that for me, riding the hoverboard around there and completing some of those quests. Now, I will give you a pro tip. When you go into Blighthaven from, I believe it's Western Grimvault, make sure that if you're Exile, you go to the right, and if you're Dominion, you go to the left. I thought it didn't matter. I went to the left. There was the Dominion camp, and boom, I got killed immediately and had to go all the way back and then take a taxi. So I don't think there's like a graveyard there or something, but either way, make sure you're going the appropriate direction for your appropriate faction. But I really do like Blighthaven. The creatures there are amazing. You can see how the strain is just taking over, and I haven't even dabbled in like the big, large events yet. I'm an achievement person, so I want to go through and do all of that. I haven't done all the group events yet, so I haven't done like the MOBA-like event or the 20-man boss or any of that. But I have put 4 to 6 hours in the Northern Waste and in Blighthaven. I can just tell you that once you get to Blighthaven, you can really, really see what this patch is about and how much content. And they're being extremely aggressive on the content right now anyways. They released the dev speak on the 30th. They released the patch on the 1st. And then at the end of the dev speak, they actually already said that the next patch is going to be for PvPers who they're actually going to implement a new battleground, which I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, I believe they said that they would let people test the next content patch next week.
Yeah, Cougar,
or this week,
he said
pretty
it,
surprising.
It's crazy. It's crazy aggressive. And
I'm excited.
Oh man, it makes me excited in that, you think about like WoW, and I played it just like you did, and a lot of MMO gamers. You think about how stagnant it gets after like say now with the Sage of Orgrimmar right now, it's been there in the same state of the game forever. It seems like it just takes forever for a patch or content update to drop. And then you got Wildstar and new games like Wildstar, and you got new games like Guild Wars 2, not new, but newer. And they're dropping these content patches, every other week or every month. And you're like, man, this is where it's going. This is where it's going to have to go for MMOs.
Well, granted, this is a new IP, and WoW's been out there for a decade.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot older.
So they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But even in its prime, though, you never saw like WoW or any games like that updating as quickly or as aggressively as what I think Wildstar is going to do. So I'm excited about that. I believe they did say, like you said, you could jump on the PTR as early as next week to test out that new battleground. And I believe the name of it was like Watergate or I don't know. Frost said it on there at the end of the dev speak. You'll have to go back and look at it and see.
I saw a picture. I don't remember that. I don't think I saw a name for it, but I saw a picture and it looked pretty, like the map itself looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Not being a big PvPer in other MMOs, and I've played a bunch of them, this game has really hooked me in, like I've said in previous weeks. So I'm just so excited about just being able to see the updated content, the new battlegrounds, and what they do with it. So anyways, that is a little bit about what we have been doing in game. So as far as the news and kind of the happenings in the world of Wildstar this week, obviously the biggest thing was the strain drop, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. I got a couple questions that I want to ask Icy Volk about some pricing on some stuff and things like that. But first, before I do that, as you all know, for the past couple weeks, bots and hacking and cheaters have been a big deal. Jeremy Gaffney, the CEO there at Carbine, has wrote another letter today or yesterday or something saying that they're continuing the fight, and they've already banned like over 7,800 accounts. And he said that doesn't sound like a lot, but they're still trying. So just remember that they are working on this. And if you see the bots in game teleporting from node to node, or if you're in PvP and they're AFKing or whatever, just remember that they are working on that. So have you experienced any of this? Has this damaged your view on the game or any your enjoyment factor?
Not really. It's to be expected, to be honest. The game just came out a month ago, and so people are trying to take advantage of a new game, and that's fine. It happens all the time. So, I mean, I know the company's trying their best to get rid of the bots, but I don't want them to focus too much on them, because there's still content to be made, and I don't want them to worry more about the bots than the content itself, because it's amazing. So far, the game's amazing, and I want it to keep growing, and I don't want the bots to take advantage of Carbine's attention. Like, I want the developers to focus on the growth of the game and the development of the new patches, and I want that to happen. I want some improvements. Not only, I don't want to just see the bots go, I want to see bug fixes and more. But actually, speaking of the bots, we have an article on WildStarFans.net that has all of the details about what you're talking about. So if you want to check that out, check out WildStarFans.net, and you'll see it in the front page. It was posted posted today. So cool. If you want to learn more about it, it's there.
So yeah, go jump on over there. I believe that's actually where I got it. So that's enough on the bots. I feel like the more we talk about them on shows like this, the more credit we give them. So I don't want to talk about them for a long time. The next thing I want to talk about is, obviously, with the strain drop comes new goodies. So you'll have new hoverboards, you'll have new costumes, you'll have new a whole bunch of new stuff to acquire in game. And with the release of the drop, yesterday, it also released the cost of a few things. So obviously, I've started my dailies in both Blighthaven and Northern Wastes, and I'm trying to get liked, and then whatever the popular, esteemed, and beloved with that reputation. And then what I wanted to ask you about is, how do you feel about the pricing structure of, like, let's just say the hoverboard, for instance, is actually selling for 100 plat. So if you want the new strain hoverboard, which, by the way, looks amazing, okay, let's just be real, okay, that was one of the most exciting things that I saw there. So it's going for 100 plat, and then if you wanted the flare for the mount, you would have to pay another 20 to 40 plat. So you're looking at almost 140 plat to get the whole thing kitted out. What is your feeling about that cost? Do you think the structure cost is a little too high, or how do you feel?
What I want to know is, do you get the hoverboard from the dailies or from the challenges? Yeah,
no. So the way it works is, I'm here on the website. You have to get beloved reputation, which is the highest amount of reputation with the Blighthaven rep. So you gotta have up to, for the first step is, you've got to acquire 32,000 reputation with the Guardians of the Grove.
So how did people already get this hoverboard?
Well, no one has received it yet. It's just on data mine websites, and is showing on the vendor as, you have to reach this amount, and you have to buy it for 100 plat once you do reach that amount of reputation.
Oh, okay.
So with that being said, gated behind reputation, once you do all of that, you then have to shell out 100 plat. So, I mean, you're accumulating plat a lot quicker than you were in the beginning of the game. So I guess I understand it, but it does seem a little steep, maybe.
I find it quite ridiculous, because I only have almost 3 plat so far. And,
yeah, I'm
not a big econ person. I know Onres is the god here of econ, and I can't even, whatever I fail to sell BOE gear on the commodities or whatever on the auction house, I just stop trying again. I'm not a good seller at all. So I find myself gaining plant hardly. I only make money from selling stuff at the vendor or for dailies, or from the dailies. And I think that's what worries me a little bit, is that
let's say you're a person who's not going to buy cred and sell it, for plat, or you're not an econ, person like Onrez or whatever it is. That's going to take a long time. And I understand it definitely should take a long time, but I don't know. Let me know over, on Twitter at Wildstar Drop what you think of the pricing structure of the, new stuff. Not only that, in order to get the new corruption purple dye, which looks really good as well, you've got to, get the beloved reputation with the Blighthaven, people, the 32,000, reputation. So a lot of stuff is gated behind that, and it will take time. It'll take, weeks, in order to get that amount of reputation. And then once you're there, you then have to shell out all of that plat. So we'll see how it shakes out. We'll see if they adjust that any, in the future. But the last thing I want to talk about in news, and I want your opinion on this, we're both at the stage of the game where this kind of impacts us. And it's kind of controversial this week. If you looked at some stuff on Twitter, I don't know if you were a part of any of those exchanges or not. But I was, reading some what people were saying on Twitter. They've changed the way they divvy out rewards. The problem was, if you don't know, when you get to veteran or elder game, you've got to go get geared up via veteran adventures and then veteran dungeons. And then what would happen is, in order to get attuned for the raid, you've got to get silver or better. And these people would come in and with the mindset of, if I don't get silver or gold, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah,
so
disband.
They would just disband. And that would ruin the group for other people who were just in there to get gear. So what they've decided to do, and I'm not sure, I don't want to say it wrong here, and maybe you can help me out with this, is they've decided to divvy out rewards, a chance or RNG of getting some purple loot, regardless of, the bronze, silver, or gold. So can you go into a little more detail on kind of what they're doing here?
I haven't read a lot about this, but I feel like what they're doing may be right. We'll just have to see it in action. We can't really say for sure if it's a positive or negative thing for players, but it might make the game a little bit less hardcore, and that's what I worry about. I mean, I don't want this game to become another cookie cutter game like or maybe I don't know. Like, it's hard to make choices like these, and
it is, and I think what people are afraid of, and I was listening to a couple other casts this week on Wildstar. I think what they're afraid of is the slippery slope of this being like where they nerf the game tremendously. This game is extremely difficult, and I believe it's one of the reasons why myself and you and people like us like the game. It's a challenge, it's difficult. But beforehand, the existing gold medal rewards, they were being removed. So like these rewards, so the way the changes are, they said based on feedback, this is kind of what they did. And then it says any medals earned instead will give the group bonus rolls on an instance-wide loot list at the end of the instance, on top of extra coin and experience rewards. So regardless of what you get, you're going to get extra group bonus rolls on that, as opposed to previously you had to obtain like a silver or a gold to get that. And then it says the items on these rolls are randomly selected from all equipment rewards that could drop from any boss or encounter inside the instance. So they are nerfing the rewards a little bit, and this is to counteract the fact of people, like you said, disbanding from the group. So I'll have a couple more people on the show in the next few weeks, and we'll discuss that in greater detail as it kind of plays out. But it gives an example here, and it says, if your group runs Veteran Sanctuary of the Sword Maiden, and all you need to do is earn a shot at superb quality loot is to defeat the Spirit Mother, which is the last boss. It says no more medal requirements. So, I don't know how I feel about this. I think that they're trying to solve a problem that definitely needs to be solved, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to see how it plays out. I'm just not sure if this was the best way to do it. You know what I mean? I really liked the bronze, silver, gold system.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes, and if it stops people from leaving instantly after 10 minutes of not getting a silver or a gold medal standing.
Right. I mean, that's basically all we can do.
Because it's been really frustrating. Like, when I was doing adventures, I would see a lot of people just leaving for ridiculous crap. Like, I don't care if I get a gold or silver medal, as long as I get content. The more loot I have, the more blues I have, the better it is. I don't care if I don't get a purple. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I still have greens to replace, so I don't understand people who are not like people are not helping other people, and by just leaving like that, it's I feel like people are overreacting and taking the game a bit too seriously and not helping the community in general. It's I don't know, people are becoming self-conceited with the easy dispense.
Right. Yeah. So we'll move on from that. That's definitely something that I wanted to address, and I'll definitely be keeping up with that in the weeks to come here, because I definitely want to see how that affects the Elder game as a whole. But just word to the wise, if you are one of those people, just wait it out. Play the whole dungeon, finish the adventure, whatever it may be. The content's fantastic. It's not like it's boring. Even if you've done it multiple times, stay in there, stick it out. And it really does give a tainted taste to someone who's just now getting into adventures or dungeons, and all of a sudden you leave and they can't finish it. So please stay in those dungeons and help Carbine out so they won't have to make these changes like they're making. I also want to give a tip to those who are updating to the strain drop, which obviously you will be. A lot of UI stuff of mine was messed up. I don't know about yours, but always make sure you go in and check your add-ons via the Curse client or however you do it. Make sure they're all up to date, because it will throw you for a loop if you go in there and see all of your stuff a lot different than it was. So make sure that you're checking your UI when you update to this new drop.
I had my BG plates from last patch, and the frames of the people were just all over my screen. Like
yes.
It was a bit ridiculous, so I had to redownload.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a lot that goes in it there. So, as far as news goes, that's about it. Obviously, the biggest thing being the Ultra Drop and how aggressive that Carbine is going at the update schedule. And I really do hope they keep at this. I hope this isn't like, oh, we're here. We just, released a month ago, so we're going to come out aggressively. Another thing that I'm really interested to see is, how does the whole cred system play out? I don't know about your server, but cred is continuing to increase. People are getting done with that free month of subscription. They're going to have to buy cred or either buy a subscription. I'm really interested and intrigued to see how this system is going to work, and I'm going to keep you guys all updated on that. I think I've already stated I bought 2 cred myself, just for science, for science. So, and also because I want to support the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Also, another cool thing they did, I don't know if you noticed this or if you even got on the PTR or not. The last week of the PTR, they actually offered boom boxes to people who got on the PTR and completed some quests and things like that. They provided you with up to like 14 to 20 boom boxes just for participating in the PTR. I didn't do that, but I heard that you could go in there and get some boom boxes. So. Well,
I've logged on the PTR for I think I logged on twice, but I haven't checked on the live server to see if I got extra boom boxes. I know that if they're sending those right away, but I don't think I've seen extra boom boxes in my inventory. But all I did on the PTR was check out Blighthaven. That's about it. I didn't do much there.
Right. Yeah. So I just thought that was cool. Another incentive to jump on that bandwagon there. So towards the end of the show, Icy Volk, what I like to do is get a add-on from our guest or from me, whoever is hosting the show that week, the add-on of the week. Is there an add-on that you've been using recently, besides like BG plates or 8th quest or something like that we all know of? Is there something this week that's really standing out that you're like, man, you've got to have this add-on? Is there one that stands out to you this week?
I think it's Castbar. It's an add-on that basically changes the default casting bar, which is, it's a very tiny casting bar under your character your nameplate.
Right.
It puts a bigger, much better casting bar in the middle of the screen. You can place it wherever you want. It's like your typical casting bar from Xpearl, like a similar cast bar to the Xpearl add-on from WoW. But right. I use it because I can see when I'm casting and when I'm not casting, because sometimes I really need to know if I'm pushing, like if I'm using an ability properly, because some of the abilities in Wildstar are unfamiliar. You have to activate them twice. like with the heals, you can charge you can charge your heals, and I have to see if I'm really using the heal or not, or if I'm just stuck on the same heal as I'm moving around in the PvE or PvP environment, because sometimes I want to heal people, but I'm not really releasing my button for some reason. I'm just like, oh, I keep pressing different buttons, thinking that I'm doing some sort of healing rotation. And no, I sometimes have to use this casting bar because it'll help me know if I'm actually, it'll show me that if I'm like using the heal or not. And so, yeah, the tiny little casting bar from Wildstar is not,
it's not enough
at all. It's too tiny. It's utterly frustrating.
I completely,
don't know about you guys.
No, I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. And what's the name of that one again?
Cast bar.
Cast bar. So go check that out if you do want an alternative to the native bar there under your nameplate there. And the one that I want to mention briefly this week, kind of on topic, is one that Onrez has tweeted about and a couple other people. The name of it is Bot Buster. I do want to give these guys some props. Go download that. You need to download it as soon as you can. This bot will actually, you just type in the command /botbuster, and it'll actually detect all of the gathering bots that you see teleporting and flying around. And this is really going to help Carbine out by using something like this that can easily detect, and it really doesn't take a lot of time from you. So the name of that one is Bot Buster. I also want to remind you guys, I have a confession to make to you, Icy Volk, and the listening audience as a whole. I did put my Elder game on hold for a while, and I leveled up 3 different characters to 14, and I had them.
Awesome.
So now I have them sitting in the house. I've got all of the crafting professions, so I've got like one of them is a survivalist, one of them is a relic hunter, and the other one is a miner. So I have all of that stuff on my house there. So if you want to, you can friend me if you're on the Thunderfoot server. My main character's name is Drexel, Drexil. So hit me up over there. Would love to do some adventures and dungeons with you guys who listen to the show. That would be so much fun to talk to you guys about the show and the game and just play with you there. So don't forget to hit me up there on the server. And as far as anything else goes, I mean, there's so much that happened this week. I would like to say again that this game is continuing to amaze me. I just really look forward to the times when I get to spend time in game and just being able to experience 2 new zones. I mean, that's amazing. Being able to have all of this, right when the stuff was getting stale in the Crypts and Badlands, you then get released 2 new zones that you can go and really freshen things up and a new way to get Elder Gems and things like that. So I really am excited about that. Don't forget, as always, to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Also, please, how kind Icy Volk was to join us today. Don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel. I have watched his YouTube videos now since beta, open beta, closed beta. One of the best YouTubers out there for Wildstar. So if you're looking for Wildstar content, he is definitely one of the people that you want to be subscribed to. I want to try to get all of them on. There's a lot of guys who are really good at what they do, and they're great content creators. So check him out. Hit that subscribe button. Follow him over on Twitter so you can keep up with him there. And Icy Volk, is there anything else that you would like to say before we get off this call?
I just want to give my quick first impressions on the 2 new zones before we go.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think I've done that. But yesterday I did the Northern Wilds. I kind of expected more from that place, because it is basically the same. It's the same map derived from one of the starting zones, the few starting leveling zones in the game. And I've gone through it in the beta, and I kind of wanted more from it. I thought the place would be extremely different, not as similar as it is initially, but I mean, that's okay. I feel like that's not the main zone that you want to check out for this patch. The Blighthaven is really the spotlight for this
indeed, yeah,
this content update. But the Northern Wastes has some more dailies for you to offer. It'll help you get through the raid attunement process, because you do have to get beloved reputation with your faction of choice.
Correct.
For one of the steps for your attunement. So the extra dailies will help you with that. And on top of that, if you do the dailies at the Northern Wastes every day, you do get some purples, 2 purples, some pants, and I believe a shield support from the vendor if you do get beloved rep with the Northern Wastes people. So that's cool. And you have some new path missions available to you. So, and just on in general, you have some more you have more challenges around to do. You can. There are more ways now to get housing items, some dyes for your costumes, and yeah, the Northern Waste is not that like exceptional. It's cool and all, but I kind of wanted more from it. As far as Blighthaven goes, I didn't get to spend my time to do the dailies yet. I'm actually going to do that today, but I did check out the zone on the PTR, and it's a very cool looking zone. Love the aesthetics. I feel like it's going to be a whole lot of fun there, and I'm thinking of doing the group quest too. If you want to learn more about the Elden lore and what happened to Drusera and what led the Elden to corrupt the land of Nexus and all of that, go check out Blighthaven and do all the quests, because you'll learn some secrets that will probably surprise you. But yeah, that's those are my impressions of the 2 new zones, and I hope to see Wildstar grow in a very positive way. And I'm just glad with the amount of stuff that the developers have come up with this game. It's incredible. It's a new IP, and I'm satisfied that they're getting so much support, because they deserve it. They've developed this game since 2007, and I wish them the best.
Absolutely. And on that point, before I let you go, you actually triggered something in my mind. Did you happen to finish all of the zone quest in the Northern Waste?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
I don't know, maybe it was something that I got that maybe you don't always get, but I actually got a gadget at the very end. It was a really cool gadget. I mean, I didn't have one equipped for my character yet. I had a really cheap one that I had from way back, but I don't know if it was because of that zone quest, or it may have been a quest in Blighthaven. But either way,
it is.
I think it is. But finish those quests, because what he's saying, if you're looking to get geared, if you're going into the adventures, the vet adventures, and you seem like you're just not doing the DPS you should be, or you're not healing, or you can't tank correctly, I'm telling you, check it out, do these quests in these zones, and you're going to end up, I mean, I replaced 2 or 3 different items, and of course, I'm not that greatly geared, but my assault power went from like something like 1700 to like 2100, so it did some extreme increases there.
Actually,
so
you can get gadgets from adventures. I got
yeah,
my
you
first
can
one
you
out
can
of,
as well.
War of the Wilds, and I got a purple, which was really nice. I got a healing gadget.
Yeah, so check that out. Definitely do those quests like Icy Volk said, because you are definitely going to get some really cool rewards there. So anyways, thanks as always for listening to the Wildstar Drop podcast. This has been such a blast to do. Already on episode 4, can't believe it. Already had 2 fantastic guests with Unres last week and then Icy Volk this week, and we're just going to continue the good times here on the show. Don't forget to rate us 5 stars on iTunes, and we will see you guys in the next one.
See ya.